Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to once again another episode of NFL Predictions. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing alright, I guess. So, look, this episode's gonna be quick because I have a million other things that I have to do for school, and there's no way that I can do the episodes that I usually do. In fact, this is probably gonna go out unedited, and then I got a Java update. Thanks, Java. So, I'm gonna go through this quickly. I'm gonna do everything. Maybe we're not gonna do like the flashback that we usually do. We're not gonna add any special music to the video. We're just gonna go through it, and this will be our week 3 predictions. And hopefully next week, if hopefully chaos goes down, I'll be able to return to all the music and all the editing, which really isn't a lot. That it'll be back next week. So for right now, let's move on to our first topic, the kickoff topic. And there's 5 undefeated teams now. 5 remaining undefeated teams. Who would have expected in the beginning of the season that these would be your 5 undefeated teams? Think about it. We've hyped up so many other teams. The Packers, the Steelers. You know that they're 2-1, sure, but they aren't 3-0 like these guys. These guys are right now the spotlight of the league. The Seahawks, you can even make an argument, could have been 3-0 at this point. They aren't. And I gotta say, I don't think I expected any of these teams to make it to 3-0. Especially considering their circumstances. Well, maybe the Ravens, because their schedule seemed kind of easy in the beginning, and it has been easy to this point, been competitive. But that's really it. Between these 5 teams, the Ravens are the only team that I could really say even a little bit that they could be 3-0, but I had no idea, and that is huge to me. And I think that this is a symbolism of the underdog. All 5 of these teams have some sort of underdog aspect to them. And yes, I know many people have probably rolled their eyes when I look at the Patriots and the Broncos, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, underdogs. Hear me out on this. The Patriots are without Tom Brady. They've been without Tom Brady for now. It's going to be their 4th game this week. And Rob Gronkowski, probably their second best player, has been out for basically the last 3 games. Who knows what will happen this week. And yet, they are still able to win games. And I keep on pointing out one of their greatest weaknesses is their offensive line, but yet their running game has been fantastic. And the quarterbacks are getting it done. Jimmy Garoppolo completely beat the Cardinals, which was impressive, really impressive at first, but now it's kind of hindered by the fact that what happened last Sunday when the Cardinals lost in the blowout to the Bills. And then you have Jacoby Brissett, who a really good Texans team got completely obliterated by them. And maybe give credit to the Patriots defense. I definitely do want to give credit to them because they are right now the soul of this team without, their big playmakers on offense, but you have to also give credit to the underdogs in this situation. And I think that the Patriots, in that sense, can be considered underdogs. Kind of beaten up in the beginning, scrutinized. And now they are going to get Tom Brady back after this week, and it's going to be fantastic. Broncos, meanwhile, the reason I consider them an underdog was because no one really knew if their defense was going to be like what it has been. And who knew that Trevor Siemian would have the start that he's had? He's the first quarterback in NFL history for his first road start this past Sunday to throw for 300-plus yards, 4 touchdowns, I believe, and 0 interceptions. That's remarkable. And you have to give the kid credit because that offense was dead last year and the defense was carrying him. Now they are kind of complete on both sides of the ball. That's insane, and I think that's a good underdog story for Trevor Siemian, a 7th round pick. People thought that was a wasted pick. there you go. He has been put to use, and now the question should start being, what are they going to do with Paxton Lynch now? Is he still the future, or is Trevor Siemian the future? Because these guys are around the same age. I mean, Paxton Lynch, I'm actually not too sure, but I think Paxton Lynch is a little bit younger, but still, they're still young guys. At quarterback, you have to wonder if Paxton Lynch is going to be considered a Broncos starter in the future, or if he might get traded to another team, which would be huge. So, who knows? But I think that's a great underdog story for Trevor Siemian. Then you have the obvious ones with the other three. The Ravens, to me, when it comes to Joe Flacco, and Justin Forsett, who hasn't really had a huge impact, but and all the other people, all the other injured players, Steve Smith, that came back, they're coming back for vengeance. They had such a rough year last year, and now they're coming into this league, into this season rather, and now they are able to come together and win games. And so far, they've been able to get the job done. They have a tough opponent against the Raiders. There's a good chance that they could win that game, but this is a great turnaround from last year where they started 1-2, and they didn't really have that great of a season. Some really great games. They were part of some of the best games last year, but they were not winning a lot of them. And the Ravens, I think, are a perfect underdog team, but also a team where you're not really surprised that they make the playoffs, because they do have a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. Now, the Vikings, holy crap, lose Teddy Bridgewater, lose Adrian Peterson, and yet you still beat the NFC champion Carolina Panthers. That's insane. That's remarkable. So, you have Sam Bradford, who has become is not like just a liability. He's not a liability anymore. He's actually an asset. He's a needed person on that team. And you have a running game that's kind of generating with the two backs. Jerick McKinnon. And I'll be honest, I forget who the other guy is, but they are able to still win games on offense, but especially because of their defense and how built that defense is. I think that's a perfect underdog story of how all these injuries, these two major injuries for this team, and they're still able to go 3-0, and now they're entering Monday Night Football in really good situation. And then you have the Eagles. No one gave this team a shot. And guess what? They're proving the world wrong. Yes, they beat the Browns, and yes, they beat the Bears. Not a big deal. But when they beat the Steelers team, who has looked pretty good in the past few weeks, the fact that the Eagles, with Carson Wentz, were able to blow out the Steelers, says something about that team. I think that's the team to be in the NFC East. And I'm actually, as a Giants fan, really enjoying watching the Eagles. And I don't usually do that. Like, I usually try not to root for my NFC East rivals, but the Eagles are likable. They have a likable guy at quarterback who's been doing so well for the team. And they have such a great defense. I'm a huge Fletcher Cox fan. Great story and just awesome player. And they've just been able to get the job done, and it's insane. And I cannot believe the Eagles are 3-0 to start the season. They go into the bye week now. Really, they gotta have their chins up. It's awesome, and I'm so happy for that organization, who have been through hell the past year and a half with good old Chip Kelly, and all their weird moves. But yeah, it's been insane. It's been a whirlwind. But that they're now looking good for the rest of the season right now. There's still a whole lot of season left. In fact, one of these teams might not even make the playoffs, but they're on the right track for sure. So I tip my hat to all 5 of them. for making a strong show in the past 3 weeks. And again, it doesn't guarantee you the playoffs, but it definitely means something. And it means that you are the teams to be in the NFL right now. So it's good stuff. So let's move on to our picks. But before we actually get to that, it's time for our first bye week summaries. We just talked about the Eagles. We don't have to really get into that, but they're in really good standing going into the bye week this week. But as for the Packers, they finally got something together in the last Sunday against the Lions. They got their offense together. Even though they struggled near the second half, they still were able to win a big game, a big divisional game. And they were without a lot of stars on defense, and they were able to get the job done. The Lions did almost come back, but they were able to stop them. And it's a fantastic victory for the Packers. They have to be happy, at least being 2-1 going into the bye, and now this is a perfect opportunity to work on your offense and get better. So Packers, Eagles, they're on bye. Packers, when they return, they're going to be playing Sunday Night Football against the Giants. Eagles, I believe when they return, they might be playing the No, maybe not the Vikings. Gotta have to think about that. I'm pretty sure they're playing a tough opponent, though. I can at least guarantee that. It might be the Ravens, for all we know. It could be. Just looking around real quick. Looking at the other opponents that we have, that the Eagles, I know, have for this coming up. You know what? No, I think it's the Lions. I think the Lions are taking on next. I'm not entirely sure about that. But regardless, they're going to be going in there with a nice breather of a week. Alright, prediction record 28-20, 10-6. So a little bit better than what I've been doing. Still want to do better. So let's get into the picks. We're just going to go through these really quickly. Dolphins at Bengals. I believe the Bengals are the much more complete team. So I'm going to pick the Bengals. Colts and Jaguars. Loser of this game might lose a head coach. Just saying. Well, I mean, maybe not the Colts, because I don't think they have that. They don't have a bye for some reason. But yeah, for me, I'm gonna take the Colts in this instance. Oh, whoops. There you go. Texans, Titans. I think the Texans are the better overall team, so we'll take that. Tough loss the Titans had against the Raiders. Not good with the penalties. Browns, Redskins. This would have been RG3's revenge game, but unfortunately we might have to wait a long time for that, if ever. So we're going to go with the Redskins. Better team overall. Seahawks, Jets, especially after the performance the Jets had. There's no way they're winning this game. Seahawks win. Bills, Patriots. I went on about it earlier. The Patriots are just insane. They're able to win any game with anyone. They're going to win this game. Panthers, Falcons. Falcons right now 2-1. Panthers 1-2. I predict the quote-unquote upset Panthers. Raiders, Ravens. Two teams that are number 2 offense against the number 2 defense in the league right now. I think the defense trumps it. Ravens. I actually went through that real quickly. I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one. I'm going to call the upset. Just think the Ravens haven't faced this tough of an opponent yet. Raiders, they've been having their share of struggles, but I think we'll get an upset here, and we'll have 4 remaining undefeated teams by the end of week 3. Or week 4, rather. Lions, Bears. Kind of a dead rivalry. It's been back and forth, but not really anything interesting. But hopefully there'll be a good game this week. I'm going to take the Lions. Broncos, Buccaneers. There's no way I could pick against the Broncos right now. They're playing way too well, and the Buccaneers defense I don't think will be able to stop Trevor Siemian. Cardinals, Rams. Cardinals need this win more than anything. They can't fall to 1-3. They're too good of a team to fall to that record. Cardinals win. I keep on skipping them. Saints, Chargers. Drew Brees reunion game with the Chargers in San Diego, I believe the first time ever. I say that the Chargers, they've been looking pretty good on offense without their star players, but their loss of Monte Teo, it might hurt them on defense. With that being said, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Saints. Cowboys, Niners. I mean, this is too obvious. The Cowboys are just right now playing well on offense with Dak Prescott at quarterback. Niners, you know, whatever. They're not. I don't think they're good. Cowboys win. Chiefs, Steelers. Steelers. They need to rebound from their loss last week against an Eagles team. But I think that they'll have the Chiefs' number this time compared to last year when the Chiefs beat them with Landry Jones in that quarterback for the Steelers. So Steelers win. And last but not least, Monday Night Football in the U.S. Bank Stadium, second game ever. I think it's going to be a much closer game than it was last year, but I'm going to still go with the Vikings. Also, I realized that the kickoff topic did not have a question, so my question to you is, which of these teams will lose last? Let me know in the comments below. Sorry that I forgot that before. Anyways, guys, that is it for the predictions. Kind of had to go through that quickly because I don't want to waste too much time on this. I hope you all enjoyed. If you didn't, I understand. I'll be back to normal next week. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.